Hey Sagittarius, happy October 2017. This is Dark Dove Tarot. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. I'm going to be using, for the main spread, my normal deck, the Raven's Prophecy, because it's orange and black, ready for Halloween, which is one of my favorite holidays. Again, I hope you're doing fantastic. As you know, I always shuffle ahead of time, but I like to add a little more energy as we get started. As you know, my reads are generally for singles and anybody looking to reconcile. Mainly for singles. I'm doing them face up this month because I am learning about just reading different signs and vibrations, and I think it's pretty exciting. So I wanted to kind of see what flow we could get going here and pay attention to any, you know, I don't know, interesting things that we can pick up. So let's see. This is for Sagittarius, again, singles, for October 2017. I hope you're doing wonderful. Any likes, subscribes, comments are greatly appreciated. You know, if you don't like the upright spread, let me know. If you prefer doing card by card, I'm more than happy to go back to that. But I like to know what everybody prefers. And if you want a private read, etc., that information is in the description below. So, Sagittarius, check your sun, moon, and rising. This is a general read. So sometimes your sun, moon, and rising will resonate with you one month and then may resonate differently with you the next month. So, let's get started. Sagittarius, coming in, you have the Tower, which some of you are probably like, no, that's not a great card to begin the month with. But actually, the Tower doesn't scare me as much as it does some people, because the Tower is about breaking things down, finding out what works. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to pull your theme card. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull your theme for the month, too. And with my Deviant Moon Tarot deck, just really quick, I want to kind of give an overall sense. But like I was saying about the Tower, don't be too put off by that. You know, it can be about dissolution, sometimes betrayal. But if you're single, I think you're kind of breaking it down as far as what you're looking for, what you're willing to put up with, you know, what type of BS you're willing to accept, not accept. And you have the King of Swords for your overall theme for the month. So that's good. I'll get to that in a second. But again, the Tower for coming in tells me that a lot of you are just kind of breaking down walls, breaking down things that aren't working for you and starting anew. So if you've been dating, you've decided to go about it a different way. You've decided to pursue different avenues. You've decided in general that things just aren't working. And with the Tower, you're, you know, just kind of throwing your hands in the air and saying, nope, that's not going to work. Again, I think that it's very positive, although for some of you it could be deciding that you don't want to date anymore, that you just want to, or maybe you do want to date but you don't want anything serious. Some of you may have actually met a few people that you were interested in and it just wasn't working, and you just, you know, kind of pushed them all to the side and said, nope, this isn't working, we're going to build again, we're going to start again. Maybe you met 1 or 2 people, you thought they were going to be pretty positive in your life, you felt like things were going somewhere, and then they kind of either eliminated themselves or it just wasn't agreeable for what you were looking for. This is also revolution though, so this is realizing that changes need to be made, and drastic changes. When the Tower pops up, it's not just, oh, I'm going to switch from dating site to dating site. It's rethinking entirely how you're going about doing it and how the process is working for you and what you need to change to continue forward to get your end results. This is Sagittarius digging deep, really deep, and saying, what's the bigger picture here and what do I need to do to go about it? And if you're looking to reconcile, this is a breakdown of all communication. This is a breakdown of maybe you guys have moved out, you're living separately. At the moment, I don't get the strong sense that you have decided to come to terms and communicate again. Some of you were deeply betrayed, and that's what you're coming to, you know, grips with, it's kind of become a fruition situation where you've realized, okay, I really care about this person and we were really connected, but like everything's down. And if we are going to continue this, we need to build a foundation. Normally I would say that this would be, you know, kind of devastating and really just the destruction of a relationship and kind of an end with maybe nothing to build on. But the Tower always has the future promise of building, rebuilding foundations again. And you have the Lovers next door. So let me cover, so your card here, the King of Swords, for your overall theme of the month is actually a good card. This is somebody who's looking for the truth. This is somebody who's intellectual. So I feel like even though this is about love, there's going to be a lot of very, very strong clarity issues that need to be dealt with within yourself and within people around you, people in your life. So this is going to be a big month for you, Sagittarius, because this is going to be about really thinking about things deeply and delving in and not really letting anxiety or fears, you know, represent you this month. The next card you have here is, you know, how you're feeling internally. This is feelings or challenges, again, that come from within. And the Lover's card is a beautiful card, of course, for singles. But it's interesting because the Lover's card for me doesn't always mean love, even though it says Lovers. The Two of Cups, the Ace of Cups, those are all very lovey cards. The Lovers is about, it is about love, but it's also about, it could be friendship, it could be family. So Sagittarius, you may be embracing a lot of different relationships this month, not just love, not just finding a soulmate. This is about love, but it's also about duality and values, which screams loudly about family. So if you're looking to date, I think maybe some of you have let the value go out of your dating life. Like maybe family was really important to you, or you know, you have kids and you're realizing that the people that you're dating just aren't people you would bring home to mom and dad, or bring home to meet the kids, or even somebody that would fit in your inner circle. And so inside you're saying, I have so much love to give. I have so much love to receive. I'm a good partner in this world. But I've really got to figure out what I want, because right now you're kind of dual. You've been playing the dating game, but maybe you haven't just really been conscious about who, or conscientious, whatever you want to say, about who you've been dating and how they would fit into your life and how it would structure around you. And now you're just kind of going, whoa, you know, the people I'm meeting are, you know, and I'm not saying you're meeting all bad people, but I see like, you know, drug addicts, alcoholics, or people who just aren't ready for the things you're ready for. Maybe you're looking to settle down and the people you're meeting just aren't. Or you're weeding through the bullshit, like I tell every sign every month, because everybody probably is weeding through that. And I think that some of you really did meet a few people that you were talking to that you thought maybe there was a possibility there. And now you're just going, what the heck? This is not what I'm looking for. This is not what I want. And so you're remembering what it is you actually want, but you're understanding that to find the person you want to pair with, to find this person that you want to have that love with and build that relationship with, you have to remember your values. And you have to remember that duality is a good thing, right? To be emotional, but also to be able to hold back, to be serious, but also fun, those types of things. But here I feel like some of you were just letting yourself go. You were dating people without remembering what you truly wanted, or without holding out for what you truly wanted. You were just kind of accepting what was instead of really looking at what you want. If you're looking to reconcile, I think it's the same thing. I think you were losing yourself in this relationship. You know it. There was a deep connection, but you're not quite sure how you could get it back. And this is you also going, okay, you know, when I'm with this person, I'm not happy like it used to be. We're not happy. We're both like two different people now. Maybe you've grown apart. And again, there could be a major betrayal. There could have been adultery or something like that. And you're realizing that, hey, you know, we're going in two separate directions and this isn't working. The next card you have is the Page of Coins. And that's your distant past. So over the past, you know, could be 5 years, 10 years. This is pretty far back. Always bring it up every month. I read it for singles and anybody looking to reconcile the same time, because this is the card that is telling you every month something to embrace from your past or something to let go of from your past. It's pretty much as simple as that. But for whatever reason, this month that lesson needs to be learned. And the Page of Coins is about being responsible, being pragmatic, having aspirations and goals and inspiration and hope but also being responsible in them. So this tells me that a few of you weren't responsible in past relationships. You weren't responsible with money. You weren't responsible. Maybe you were young, you know, footloose and fancy free. And so it was always about what's coming next and what does the next day hold instead of planning, or, you know, you were too young. You were having fun. You weren't looking at having babies and having, you know, the mortgage and all of that. And maybe now you're going, I remember those times and it was fun. And there was a lot of, you know, new adventures, but I'm dating the same people now. However, my goals and aspirations are different. And I think it's super important to recognize that. And not for everybody. For some of you, maybe that your goals and you know, having this healthy, mature adult relationship got in the way of being footloose and fancy free. So for some of you, I see it as the page saying, okay, you know, remember, if you want X, Y, and Z, you want the mortgage, you want, you know, kids, you want to be able to send them to college, all of those things, there has to be a certain maturity level or responsibility in the relationship. But it could be quite opposite, that some of you have been doing that due diligence and being, you know, that strong workforce, and you realize that you need to find somebody who, yes, you want somebody stable, but at the same time, you want somebody who can enjoy life and have fun. And maybe the people that you're dating recently, you're realizing either are totally, you know, nose to the grind, there's no room for any fun, or everybody you're meeting, that's all they want to do is have fun. And you've got a lot more things planned and ready for that you're looking for in life. The next card you have is your immediate past. So over the past few weeks, past few months, and you have the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is a very good card. It kind of goes well with the King because, again, this is about clarity. This is about having, you know, this is about being able to, you're capable, being able to handle challenges and overcome obstacles, but in a good way. This card is very endearing, but it's also enduring, I guess, so to speak, because you can take, it's kind of like the world is in your hands, and see, they're holding fire, but you're not getting burned because it's like you're just handling one thing after the other after the other. Now, eventually, it's going to become this strength, and you know, you get to the Ten of Wands where it's like diligent and responsible, which is good. But the Nine is saying the past few weeks, I think the reason this tower is coming down, especially for singles, is because you aren't dating people that are going to get to common ground with you. You're dating people who are either want to have fun and go party and, you know, they're carefree, and you want somebody a little more stable, or they're super stable and they're set in their ways, and, you know, they're looking for somebody to kind of come into their world, not willing to make compromise. So either way, I feel like it's been very, you know, black or white for you, Sagittarius, in the dating world. Either you're finding one type of person who's very staunch, and this is how this happens, and I'm, you know, stuck in my schedule, my routine, and this is how it's going to be. Or you're finding people the complete opposite, who just, they're not looking for anything other than to go out, have some fun, thrills and chills, and that's about it. The Nine says that you're starting to make changes, and you're realizing that, like, you're very serious at work, or you're very serious at school, or you're very serious with your kids, and not serious, but you're very dedicated to those aspects of your life, right? And the Nine is saying, we all know you're very capable. Now, how are you going to be capable of dating? Nobody knows that, right? Like, nobody has the answer to the dating game. Nobody does it perfectly. Nobody knows exactly how it works, but you're starting with a 9 to show some sort of progress. You know, again, I think some of you just cleaned the slate. Maybe you stopped online dating. Maybe you've decided that you're going to go to, like, a meetup group or a church group, or, you know, whatever your preferences. I feel like you've either cut it off completely and said, all right, we're going to start anew, this isn't working, or you've completely changed the type of people you're talking to. And I think it's going to mesh, you know, however you want to say it, into something, mold, I guess. I'm not, for whatever reason, it's on the tip of my tongue, that the 9 is saying it's all going to kind of come together. The one spot that it seems like hasn't been working for you, Sag, is the dating life. But I think the past few weeks you've made that a point of priority to recognize what's going to work and what's not working. If you're looking to reconcile, the 9 says that you are capable of making changes to get where you need to be, but I'm not sure that you're in contact with this person, and I'm not sure if they're ready or if you're ready. I feel like somebody's holding back. Like you're passionate about making that connection again if it's something you decide you want to. So it's like you could almost go either way, but you kind of know what you need to do to rebuild. I don't know if you were dishonest or cheated, or if they were dishonest or cheated. The Tower does represent some sort of betrayal. It doesn't have to be cheating, but it could be, you know, lying. It could be, you know, dishonesty about money, whatever it is. You're more than capable of building a connection back with this person. I think the question is whether you want to or not. The next card you have is In Time, Future Possibilities, over the next few months through the end of the year. And you have the World. And I absolutely love the World card because it kind of goes with the 9 of Wands. Like, the world is in your hands, right? The world is possibilities, it's belonging, it's completion, accomplishment, fulfillment. I mean, there's so many things that go along with the world. But the main thing, especially if you're dating, is about finding somebody that you belong with and belongs with you. So I definitely see this Tower as you saying, okay, this isn't working. So I'm going to tear it all down. Which is interesting, Sag, because you're a fire sign. And so you have, you know, fire here, you have fire here. And so I kind of feel like you're just in your own element this month. You're able to, you know, and you have Wands here too. So you've got fire energy, which could either represent yourself or, you know, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. But you're definitely feeling in your element, or you will by the end of the month. The World here is saying, look, if you're dating, it's coming, it's a completion, you're going to feel a fulfillment. Now, the completion on this end, I think, with the World is going to be that you are going to change the way you're dating. Either you're going to stop completely, rethink it, revamp it, or you've already done that and you're starting to make changes, or you're going to go about it completely different, you know, again, switch it up from online to meetup, whatever the case may be. The World says at the end, you're going to get that accomplishment, you're going to feel like you belong with somebody, they belong with you. It could be 2 or 3 people, but I think you'll narrow it down to 1. This is also completion. So by the end of the year, I think that the possibility of you completing the dating cycle and moving into a more committed, or at least committed dating cycle is exactly where you're headed. If you're looking to reconcile, this says that you are going to have a moment in time where you can take one road or the other. You can take one path or the other. And you're either going to tear everything down and rebuild with that partner and find that connection again, or you're going to go off and do your own thing and start dating somebody else. Right now it's really 50-50, which is weird because a lot of signs this month have been 50-50. For October, and the reads that I've started doing for October, and even the reads I did for September, normally it's kind of cut and dry. Some signs have been a little more cut and dry, but a lot of it's been kind of 50-50. I feel like some people are wanting that connection, maybe because of the reminiscing on the holidays, reminiscing about, you know, lost love and not wanting to spend the holidays, especially here in the U.S. alone. And so, but then some of you are going, well, I'm not quite sure. And for Sagittarius, I feel like it's the same way. This could go either way. It's a beautiful ending either way because it's a positive. It's accomplishing and fulfillment. So again, whichever direction you go, I think you're going to feel pretty positive about it. Your immediate future here is the 10 of Cups, which is also a very positive card. So if you're single, this is all about family. This is about, you know, finding peace and joy. And that's why I think it's interesting with the Tower. And I said that I think some of you are looking for somebody to build a family with or to build that relationship with. But not only that, somebody that you could see yourself bringing into your family, meeting friends, relatives. And that's what the 10 of Cups symbolizes. So I think that once you make some changes to the way you're going about dating, I think that you're going to meet, I think it's going to come pretty quick too. I think you're going to meet somebody who really kind of lights your fire since you're a fire sign. I feel like you're going to find somebody who would just ease kind of into your life peacefully, and you'll end up going wherever the road takes you. This is also about, you know, finding, if you, like, let's say you have decided that you're going to tear everything down and you're just going to concentrate on, you know, love. I think some of you, like I said here, it's also about family relationships, and some of you may be doing the opposite of dating and maintaining friendships. And this also may mean that some of you have a friend or have a few friends that maybe you've had feelings for, or they've had feelings for you, and now you may broach that to where you take it to the next level, or take it to a different level, to where you realize, like, hey, I've been hanging out with him and her for a long time. I've always had feelings for them. One of you may decide to mention it or say something, or bring that to light, and it may be something that you easily kind of slide into some sort of friendship that turns into dating, that turns into something long term. Again, that could be for very few of you, because this is general, but the Ten of Cups is somebody feeling at peace, and in order to do that, it has to be somebody you want. And I think that that goes well with the Lovers, because you're saying, I want this peace. I want this, my values to be heard. I want love, but I want it to be good love. And you're tearing things down, and you're, you know, saying, well, this isn't working. And you're, you know, shutting doors and closing windows, and opening new doors and opening new windows. And I think that's, you know, that's really good. And I think it's interesting too, because you have the King here, and it's like using your intellect to make good decisions. Not that you shouldn't follow your heart, but some of you maybe have followed your heart, and you've met people who made you feel good and happy and giddy and butterflies. But in reality, you knew it was only going to be physical, or you knew that they were only going to be capable of giving you so much, or you them, because it wasn't something that was practical. It wasn't something that would fit into your life. And I think the 10 says that this month is a very good possible. Oh, and it's the 10th. It's 10 month. It's October. So very interesting, because I think there's a big possibility you make these changes, and some of these changes are within yourself, because you want the happy-go-lucky, but you're, you know, you're kind of not sure how to find somebody who harnesses both the responsible side and the fun side. But very interesting here. And it could be a water sign, because you have the Cups, and you have the Cups here, and they're both big, like, family, meeting people cards. And Cups are water signs, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. So there's a very good, you know, chance that that could be somebody that you're talking to, or that you're, you know, meeting come this month. But very good possibility you're going to meet them this month, that's for sure. If you're looking to reconcile, I think that you may be taking solace in your family because of the 10 of Cups. I think you may be embracing friends and family more. You may be leaning on them more, asking them more for advice. If you know, if this ex of yours, if you guys had a family together, or had a combined family, or whatever the case may be, you may be getting back together for family events or birthdays or kid things, and that may be what brings you to be able to build a new connection. Again, I don't think it's very clear on whether you're going to get back together or not, because nothing right now just screams, hey, reconciliation. But I still feel it's very possible. Although I do feel like you're going to be spending a lot of time with friends and family and people that make you happy. And I think once you do have contact with your ex, I think that if you realize that you feel really good with them and you miss them and you feel good about it, then it may be something that you decide to reconcile. But if you don't, and you just feel, you know, kind of devastated and not wanting to be around them, I think you may very quickly decide that you're going to hit the road and see the world yourself. The next card you have is going to be external factors throughout the month of October. And you have the King of Swords, which is very interesting because you have the King of Swords here. So I don't pull a theme card very often that, you know, is the same as the card that you have in your spread. So the King of Swords is obviously a very pertinent card here. It could be, too, that you're dealing with an air energy. And so, you know, you could be looking at Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini as well. Maybe that's, if you're looking to reconcile that, maybe who your ex is, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. But if you're looking to reconcile, I'll start with you for the King. I think that you're looking for the truth. So if there was some sort of betrayal, you want answers before you even contemplate getting back to them in a connection. Like, you miss them, you love them, but it's not working, you're growing apart. And the longer that you're waiting for answers or some sort of understanding, and you kind of feel like you want some sort of justness, like you want, you know, you want them to say, okay, I was wrong, because you feel really betrayed or you feel really hurt. Now, it could be the opposite. Maybe you were the one who hurt them, but I feel like for the most part, this is going to be somebody who hurt you, and you kind of need to hear them say, you know, I stabbed you in the heart, and I'm really sorry, and I'm going to change my behavior, because I think you're kind of done waiting around. And if you don't hear something soon, you're not going to wait around to see what they have to say any longer. If you're dating, this is you looking at things for what they are. This is you understanding that, yes, you want to be able to have fun. You want the responsible partner as well. And you're figuring things out. And this is about you being fair and honest with yourself and people around you. So people that you're dating, or that you're interested in dating, people that you're going to meet when you pick it back up, or if you've already started to pick it back up, or even if you've decided to change avenues, I think this is you going into it saying, this is me. This is what I want. This is what I need. This is what I think would make me happy. This is what I bring to the table. I'm not sugarcoating anything. Like, if that sounds at all good to you, great, let's talk. And if it doesn't, you know, we're probably not a good fit. I think, Sag, during the month, you're going to be very clear-cut and decisive on what you want. And you're not going to be BSing anybody, because you don't want to have to, you didn't want to have to weed through it, and now you don't want anybody else to have to weed through it. And frankly, I think that you're tired of wasting time on dating people that aren't going to work for you, and you know that they're not going to work for you. The next card you have is any internal factors throughout the month of October, and you have the 7 of Coins. And again, this external king and the internal 7, you know, are throughout the month. It could be the beginning, middle, end. It could be through the entire month. It could be up and down. The 7 of Coins is a very positive card, because the 7 is about assessing the situation, which is very kingly of you. I think, like I said, Sagittarius, you're going to take a lot of looks at your life from the inside out and the outside in. You're going to be viewing every aspect. And the 7 is saying you're going to, at some point, assess a situation and decide on the risk and the reward of it. Decide what you're willing to sacrifice and what you absolutely need in order to be successful in a relationship. And I think that that's you saying, okay, I'm willing to risk this. I'm willing to kind of make this not so much of a priority, and be a little loose on this. So you're not going to be walking out in the dating scene going, yes, you're going to be telling people like it is and what you want, but you're not going to be going, I have to have this. You have to drive this type of car, and you have to, which Sagittarius is not that demanding anyways. But you definitely know what you want, and you strive for what you want, because you have a pretty good understanding of what's going to make you happy. And so Sagittarius, this month with the 7, although you know what you want, and there's certain things that you will not give up on, or you will not bend on, there are other things you might be willing to bend on. And you'll realize that, you know, in the long run will allow you to meet more people, and you'll be a little more versatile. And the 7 is saying, if you take some risks, there will be rewards. And I think that this is growth, a path that you and somebody else, maybe a few people starting off, but I think you'll narrow it down to 1. And again, I think there's a strong possibility once you change the way things are working, the way you're dating, the way you're looking for companionship, love, partner, whatever you're wanting. I think once you change it up, you're going to have it pretty quick. Like I said, the 10, since it's October, for some reason struck me pretty, you know, pretty big there. Now, it could be 7 days, it could be 7 weeks, because you have 7s here. But again, I think it's going to be something pretty positive. But you are going to be assessing things pretty clearly, you know, not fine-tooth comb necessarily, but you're going to be recognizing what's going to work for you and what's not going to work for you. And I don't think you're going to spend a lot of time dwelling on things that aren't going to work for you. If you're looking to reconcile, this is going to be a very interesting, I think you're going to be playing with your heartstrings a lot this month, because this is you going, if I get back with this person, do I get this again? Or do I get this? And I think you're having a hard time figuring that out because it seems like things are just overall. And again, this king has popped up and it makes me think that you're waiting for like an answer or some sort of truth or some sort of justifiable situation. It may even be you're trying to justify with yourself that you love this person so much, but how could I possibly get back together? And I strongly feel, Sagittarius, that you're like doing an assessment on your own of pros and cons, pros and cons, pros and cons. The Seven of Coins, again, risk reward. And this is about choices. So I think that you're having a hard time deciding what you want to do, and you're trying to justify either way. Like, okay, well, I can move on without them. I'm more than capable because you have this Nine of Wands. But at the same time, you love them and you have a strong connection. So you're really just trying to figure out what the best choice for you is going to be. The next card you have is the Seven of Wands. And this is your hopes and fears for the month of October. And then your outcome, the Seven of Cups. And you have 3 sevens in a row. 7, 7, 7. So again, 7 weeks, 7 days. Hopefully not 7 months. But again, could hit October or right outside of October. But the Seven of Wands for your hopes and fears is about strategizing, getting your priorities set. So if you're single, I think this represents the small pool of people, in all honesty, that you're going to meet that are going to kind of live up to your expectations. And I don't think that you're being overly arrogant or anything like that, or overly conceited with your expectations. You're just you're all of a sudden very knowledgeable of what's working for you, what's not. And you're just not willing to sacrifice certain things. Now, yes, here you'll be making choices, and you'll be assessing what's going to work and what's not going to work, where you can bend and where you can't bend. But I really feel like by the end of this month, you're going to narrow it down to 1 or 2 people that are going to work for you, and you will have kind of let go of anything that's not going to work for you. And I think a lot of it plays into your values and what you really want. I think some of you have been dating people that just aren't going to get you where you want to go. And to be fair, you're not going to get them where they want to go either. So why spend any time? So you're going to kind of, savior, that's not right. I don't know why savior came out. Savor. I don't know why savior. Maybe they are going to be their savior, or you're going to be their savior. But, you're going to kind of savor the few choices you have. Really get to know these people and really spend time cultivating the possibility of a relationship with them. If you're looking to reconcile, this is a very interesting card because this is about defense. This is about strategy. So I really think you're trying to figure out what's going to work for you and where you want to end up. Do you want to end up on that road with this person, or do you not? And again, like I said, you've got questions that need to be answered. And I feel like this is like the fire you have left with that connection with that person. And if the flames anymore, you're just going to let the rain put it out and you're going to move on. The Seven of Cups is your outcome for the month. And if you're single, this is about choices. So you have 2 pretty serious choice cards here. It's also about temptations, wishful thinking, options. So be very careful, Sagittarius, that you don't let the outcome here become something that you're going to have to tear down again. Remember your values here. The Seven of Cups is saying, look, there's going to be temptation to maybe have a physical relationship, maybe be with somebody who parties too much, maybe go down roads and paths that you don't want to go down anymore. And you kind of know, like, you've been there, done that, and you're kind of like, lead me away from temptation. Lead me to somebody who, who isn't wishful thinking. It's very interesting because it feels like, Sagittarius, like, you would love to be with this person. No, you know what it is? It's that maybe they look the way you want them to look, but they act like somebody you cannot be good for you. Maybe they're just not. Maybe they drink too much. They do drugs. They're doing things that are not healthy for you, or not good for you in your life right now. I mean, maybe you did the drinking and whatever, and now you know that it doesn't work for you. The 7, again, this tells me that, like, they look really good, but it's too good to be true because how they behave. Or, hey, maybe they're super confident and strong and whatnot on the outside, and then when you get them behind closed doors, they're like you know, lunatic. I don't know, but there's so many possibilities. But the 7 definitely says, make wise choices. Don't get caught up in what's not there. Don't get caught up in things that aren't real. Don't use this time to wishful think. Make choices. Look at your options. Avoid the temptation of, you know, falling for something just because it looks good or it feels good, or, and I'm saying it, but I mean the situation. I don't mean a person as an it. I mean, you know, they look like the whole package, but then in reality, they're up till 3 every morning and you just can't burn the midnight oil like that, right? If you're looking to reconcile, the 7 tells me that this is temptation to get back into old habits. It's temptation to fall into things that didn't work for you before that aren't going to work for you now. And you might be wishful thinking that person's changed and that you're going to get the answers you want. And I don't necessarily know now, Sagittarius, that that's going to happen for you. I apologize, but I don't necessarily think that that's going to be the road that you're going to go down, because I think the 7 for you is saying, look, you have a lot of choices and you have options. And if you think that this person is going to change and you're going to get back to this again, they better give you these answers you want. They better tell you the truth. They better have, you know, some good answers on what happened in the past, or else it's probably not going to be a positive. Ooh, these are falling out. Really quick, I want to clarify the outcome and the distant future. So your outcome clarification is the Devil. So that goes very well. And the World clarification. So the 7 of Cups and the Devil go perfectly, because the Devil is about vices, jealousy, addiction, again, temptation. So you're being warned to get what you want, Sag, to get this, and to get this happy family, and to have this world. Beware of this devil. Now, the devil doesn't have to be about addictions, drugs, alcohol, but it can be whatever, food. It can be anything in your life that makes you not feel good. And look, if you're single, just avoid it. I know easier said than done, but it's like, I think this Tower here is for a reason, because you're just going, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore because I want to get here and I know what I want. So Sagittarius, I think, keep, you know, this justly king around. Keep your family and friends close. If you need them for whatever reason, if you need to, you know, take a break from dating, or if you need to assess it and go to meetup groups or something that might help you meet people that aren't going to put you in these situations, then I think it's very important that you do that. So beware of the devil. I think you're going to be fine, because here you have the Temperance on top of the World. And let me clarify for anybody looking to reconcile. I don't know that this person that you're feeling betrayal with and that you need answers for is going to give them to you. That Devil card, I think, for me, would seal the deal, unless there's a major change here. Major change. All right, for your outcome, though, if you're single, Temperance is about balance, compromise, and moderation. So, again, have fun, but be responsible. Meet somebody who kind of encompasses both the devil and the angel, right? They can let loose, they can have fun. You know, you can have wild times, but you can wrap it up and be sensible. Everything in moderation. Don't work too hard. Don't eat too much. Don't party too much. But this person can also help you let loose once in a while. Or they egg you on, but in a good way. And Temperance says that there's like a compromise. And you're going to get this ability to be anywhere in the world, and, you know, not physically, unless you really do decide to take off anywhere in the world. But this kind of like, again, moving to that first completion of getting out of the dating scene and feeling fulfilled. And this Temperance is saying that's what's going to come. Some sort of shift, this Tower breaking things down, is going to bring this balance. And maybe it's just overcoming things that you've had a hard time overcoming before. Dating people's made you anxious, or maybe work or school or something. Things have been out of balance, and Temperance is saying whatever changes you're making here in October is going to balance things out. Just give it a chance to go through the motions this month to get there. If you're looking to reconcile, it's the same thing. Don't compromise yourself for these temptations. Don't compromise yourself for somebody who's not going to be good enough for you. Don't lose these values that you want very strongly. Okay, Sag, have a great month. I will see you soon.